Yo guys, what's good? Enigma here, and today we're going to be talking about how to beat Broly, and by extension how to beat other command grab characters too, and avoid their command grabs effectively, and a little bit more reward off of getting guessing right. So that's what we're going to talk about today. A lot of people tend to be doing this, not Spark, sorry, tend to be doing this, and in an attempt to get away from the command grabs very recently. And I think maybe it's not a recent thing, but since Broly is a lot more common now, I'm seeing people use it a lot more. I just wanted to give a different perspective of different options to use and other things that maybe people didn't think about at the beginning. And some of them do have a very, very good reward, so we're going to be talking about that today. So if you like the video, like, subscribe, share it, all of that stuff helps me. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, man. Now, command grabs. So, as we know, Broly has 3 command grabs. Light one, 17 frames startup at the closest range. Unreactable. It's armored, and it's armored from hits, physical hits, and it's armored from ki blasts, but it's not armored from beams. And it's at a specific duration, right? So beating this move out is pretty hard, and it's also not armored from Vanish. So if I quickly make the bot react to Vanish, right, so it's not armored to Vanish, so you'll see a lot. This is why a lot of players do it, so that the armor doesn't activate. In season 1 it actually didn't activate. So actually did activate on vanishes, which made people get like M punishes and stuff. Obviously that's not available anymore, so this counterplay is kind of not very useful anymore. The only thing it's also useful for doing is beating out 6M. Alright, so it also beats 6M and you don't have to react to it since you're just mashing it. And it's all fun and good, but that's pretty much the only other thing it beats. And if you guess wrong, or not necessarily guess wrong, but if the Broly waits for it, you can get 2H punish. And if the Broly is really good and they know you like to do that, this is what they'll do. You get more damage, you get more meter. Obviously you don't have to end in the EX, but it helps you get to the corner a little bit easier. And this is obviously a pretty good thing that Broly should be doing against Spanish when people are trying to vanish out of the mix-up. So what do we do? This grab is unreactable. You can't actually mash out of it either. Even Vegito, if the Broly player does it correctly, you can't mash out of it. So like this. Right there, just as soon as you're coming out of block stun, the grab will actually hit you. So, and if he does a medium as well, if he starts to see that you're trying to mash it and he does a medium, it actually auto times it. So with the light one he has to time it himself, but if people use the medium one, it auto times it, and the medium one gives a full combo. So it looks something like this, and a full combo. I haven't actually done the full combo there, but we all know what it looks like, right? So what do? This is pretty hard to deal with at first glance, but the way to think about this and deal with it is, this is unreactable, right? So regardless you're guessing, so if you're gonna guess, might as well get some good damage from it, right? Vanish is a pretty bad option because not only can people bait it, and they can punish with frame trapping, with a proper frame trap. It loses to the exact same kind of thing that jumping does, right? However, jumping is a lot harder to bait from the Broly player. Jumping is a lot harder to bait. So if you end up jumping and they try to do command grab, you can actually punish. You get a lot more, you know, a lot more freedom, and the punish is a lot bigger rather than just doing a banish. So something like this. I'm not a Vegito player, but something like this. Now all of a sudden, Broly's the one in the corner off of trying to command grab you, right? So there's a lot of stuff as well that you can do rather than just this. Vegito especially has a special normal for this. So that's pretty good. But any attack that leaves you, that brings you airborne, like very quickly, will actually be able to counter this. Right? So because Vegito is becoming airborne from the kicks very quickly, the grab actually can't hit him. Now, this is really, really, really good. I think since a lot of players are calling out the grab with Vanish anyway at the moment, there's no reason, because it loses to the exact same things that actually it loses to the same things that jumping loses to and more. There's no reason not to just do one of these things. There's no reason not to just jump S, 226H, you're -5 on block there when the bot blocks. -5 on block, or -4. Distance is pretty good, you can backdash. There's actually no reason not to just call it out with one of these specials, or a or jump back S. You could either do jump back TK, or not jump back TK, but jump back Banshee Blast. Something like this. There's a lot of options rather than just doing Vanish. Vanish is a pretty bad option because it loses to nothing. It literally loses to the Broly player doing nothing, which is pretty bad. You kind of want the Broly to be always guessing as much as you are, right? Another thing it also loses to, the grab, is obviously 6M, but even better than that. So 6M there, and even better than that if you want to call it out. Super dash as well, and also you can actually jump IAD and punish him with a H normal, with a JH or a JM, whatever you want to do, whichever your character prefers. Probably like Janemba would probably prefer JM, right? So remember, you're calling out already with Vanish. Not sparking, with Vanish. So if you're gonna call it out and possibly get counter hit, you might as well get an actual punish, right? Even Super Dash is a pretty good option. If someone is frame trapping correctly, they will still hit your start up of Super Dash and you'll be grounded for a full combo. Yeah, so you'll still be grounded for a full combo if they frame trap properly. But jumping honestly gives you so much freedom, a lot more freedom than vanishing. The reason for that is that you can jump at any time. You can jump instantly. You could jump a little bit after. You could jump just as it's about to connect. And the Broly player has to guess when they're trying to frame trap. So if you jump really, really late and they try and frame trap you, you don't get hit, right? See there? But if I jumped at the same timing for the grab, I'm able to get out, right? So jumping and changing your jumping timing is definitely not more effective than doing Vanish. So please make these Broly players guess properly and really make it hard for them, right? Now, of course, a lot of people have seen this on Oki, but Broly does have a way to counter this. So we touched on this before. One of the ways to counter this is by doing 6-7 strings. Now, obviously, as you can see there, he's +6, so that leaves him advantageous on block. But again, you're not getting hit, and the Broly player is still having to put pressure on you, and is still having to guess when you're going to do 6-7 stuff, right? So this is still a pretty good option, but his even better option to beat this. So his even better option to beat that is by doing TK grab, armor grab, right? This is a really strong call out, but the commitment is very high. So if I show you the recovery without me jumping, right? So it's pretty easy to react to and then punish. So it's a huge commitment from the Broly player. You can also just dash out and then, you know, be safe. And if you're really good, like something like that. But again, this is a really big call out from the Broly player. And it has a good reward, but the risk can be really high, right? So if you can make Broly players take this kind of risk, man, you're gonna have a lot easier time in the matchup, I think. Obviously, they can cover that with an assist, so do be careful of that. But this is definitely something I think a lot of players, maybe people who only play on NetPlay, are not exploring or trying to look at as much. You know, like I said, aerial specials, aerial normals, jumping and doing JS. These kind of tools are really strong. I think a lot more people should look into using them versus the grabs rather than using Vanish. Using Vanish, man, definitely not the one. I promise you. I promise you. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say for today. I'll just show another couple examples of what you can do against the grab. So I'll show you base Vegeta. So base Vegeta, actually, you can actually do this pretty late. As you can see, I'm not reversaling this. So that wasn't a reversal, and I can reverse it like this, like that, right? So it's actually this move is actually really good for this. On block, you're obviously safe. Obviously, you have to hold pressure after because of Broly's huge 5L, but you're pretty safe. You can also use the medium and heavy ones. Gets you out on block. The medium one gives you safe. You got space now, and you can obviously vanish to confirm. Right? Pretty cool. And of course, EX, invuln anyway, all that stuff, right? So it's pretty good. Super Saiyan Goku, I'll show him as well. Pretty much his, you have to do a beam, or you can do an ID jump heavy. That's pretty good. Or you can just do a pretty strong punish like this. Right? So you get a pretty good punish. Now, obviously, I have said this a couple times already, but this is a call out. You are calling out the command grab. I understand that. And a lot of people might be like, oh, you know, how are you going to do some reaction? Da, 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 da. It's not a reaction. You're absolutely calling it out. But the exact same way people are doing this instead at the moment, you're not getting much, and you're not making the Broly player really care. And if the Broly player happens to mess up his frame trap, and you vanish, he can always just counter vanish, right? So it's not much, you know. There's not much really to say there. It's not the best option. There's a lot more options that you should be using or can be using as any character in the game. So definitely look into those. Hope this helps. Maybe it'll give you a different perspective on how to fight Broly. And if you like this video and you want more counter Broly videos or counter X character videos, any other character you want to know how to counter, maybe some tips, then, you know, like the video, comment, let me know what characters you want me to look at, and I'll hope to do more videos. So yeah, peace out. Thanks, guys.